At some point, every industrial tenant faces the same moment. A renewal proposal lands in your inbox, and suddenly you're doing mental gymnastics over whether to stay, move, or accept the rent that has developed ambitions of its own. The truth? 2026 renewals are not just about rent. They're about whether your building still works for your business. Wait too long, and that decision gets made for you. Options shrink, leverage disappears, costs quietly compound. If you lease industrial space in Burlington, Oakville, or anywhere in the GTA, this is your survival guide. I'm Susan, that commercial realtor. I specialize in industrial and office real estate across Burlington and the GTA. Built for business, backed by data, and negotiating with bite. Today, we're walking through the same framework I use with my industrial clients every day to answer one question clearly: renew or relocate? Forget the rent for a moment. Start with functionality. Ask yourself, do we actually have enough power for what comes next? Does the loading support how we ship today? Does the clear height allow growth instead of workarounds? Does the HVAC support production, not just comfort? Does the layout serve operations or nostalgia? Truly, if the building can't support your operation, cheaper rent is still expensive. You don't outgrow rent, you outgrow buildings. 2026 is the year tenants finally stop paying premium dollars for underperforming space. Renewing can be the right move when 4 things are true. First, the building works today and can support the next 3 to 5 years of your business. Second, the landlord's actually investing. Power upgrades, HVAC improvements, functional improvements, those matter. Third, protection clauses are negotiated properly. This is where leases quietly go wrong. Market rate caps, TMI transparency, CapEx responsibility, power upgrade language, amortization disclosure. Renewing without protections is not loyalty, it's optimism without math. 4, the true occupancy cost makes sense. Net rent is not the number. Net plus TMI plus utilities plus inefficiencies is. Tenants lose money in renewals because they only negotiate the first line item. Relocation deserves serious consideration when the building is limiting growth, power is capped, loading is inefficient, the ceiling height works against you, and if operational friction has become the norm. If your landlord proposes above-market renewal terms without justification, that's convenience pricing, not market reality. In Burlington alone, tenants regularly overpay by $2 to $4 per square foot simply because they don't compare properly. Relocation also makes sense when better space unlocks higher efficiency, lower operating costs, improved workflow, growth capacity, better employee experience. You can't negotiate your way out of physical limitations. This is the single biggest tenant advantage in 2026. Start renewal or relocation planning 12 months before expiry, not when the landlord sends you a reminder email. Not 90 days, not 6 months, 12 months out. Why does this matter? Well, you have options, real leverage, time to compare properly, room to negotiate incentives, the ability to assess power and functionality, and the opportunity to consider buying. Your landlord knows when you're out of time. Don't hand them that advantage on a silver platter. Here's where tenants get surprised. A functional relocation often reduces overtime, improves production flow, cuts inefficiencies, lowers utility drag, and supports growth without friction. You know what cheap rent hides? Expensive problems. Most industrial buildings built between 1980 and 2000 were not designed for today's power demands. If your business is growing, renewing in an underpowered building is rarely the safe choice. If you renew, these clauses matter. Market rate reset, power upgrade responsibility, CapEx transparency, TMI clarity, amortization disclosure. Miss these and you could pay twice, once in rent and then in surprises. Tenants who skim clauses lose quietly. Tenants who challenge them win calmly. Ask the right questions. Does this building support the next phase of business? What will change operationally in the next 3 to 5 years? Is my landlord investing or deferring? What is my true occupancy cost? What does relocation unlock? Urgency creates mistakes. Clarity removes urgency. If this changed how you think about your renewal, subscribe and follow. The algorithm enjoys informed tenants. 2026 won't reward tenants who wait. It will reward tenants who plan early, compare properly, and choose deliberately. Built for business, backed by data, negotiating with Byte, I'm Susan, that commercial realtor. Now that you know, what are you going to do about it?